This Maths Olympiad question we need to solve for x in the real numbers. 8 to the power of x plus 2 to the power of x equals 130. So we've got our equation, 8 to the x plus 2 to the x equals 130. First thing to notice here is that we've got a power of 2, 2 to the x, and 8 itself is also a power of 2. So let's convert that. 8 is 2 cubed, so we've now got 2 cubed to the power of x plus 2 to the power of x equals 130. By the rules of indices, it doesn't matter which order we do powers in. So 2 cubed to the power of x is exactly the same as 2 to the x, all cubed. We've now got a cubic. We've got 2 to the x cubed, we've got 2 to the x, and we've got an integer, 130. So let's subtract that 130 from both sides. We can now treat this as a cubic. To make it a bit easier to see, we're going to let y equal 2 to the x, which gives us y cubed plus y minus 130 equals 0. You don't need to do that step. I've just done it here to show the cubic in a simpler form. We now need to solve this cubic equation. There are a few ways to go about this, but one of the easiest is that if there is a nice integer solution, if we can find that by inspection, then we can work out the rest from there. We know that the y cubed plus y part of this has to equal 130. So y is going to have to be a positive number, and it's going to have to be a fairly large one, as in 1, 2, 3 are not going to be big enough. If y was 4, 4 cubed is 64, plus 4 is 68. That's not going to be big enough. So let's try y equals 5. 5 cubed is 125, plus 5 is 130, minus 130 equals 0. So by inspection, y equals 5 is a solution. Because this is a solution, it means y minus 5 is a factor of our cubic. If y minus 5 is a factor, that means we can now divide our cubic by y minus 5 to get a quadratic equation, which is much easier to solve. So let's do some long division. I'm going to put y minus 5 into our cubic. Note that underneath the division there, I've put 0y squared just as a placeholder to make the division a bit easier. So we take the y from y minus 5 and we say how many times does that go into the y cubed of our cubic? Well, we'd need to multiply that by y squared. Underneath, we're going to do this y squared times by the y minus 5, so y cubed minus 5y squared, and take this away to get what's remaining. So 0y squared minus negative 5y squared gives us 5y squared, and we've still got the y and the minus 130. We're going to repeat this again now. How many times does y go into 5y squared? Well, that's plus 5y. Take away 5y times y minus 5, which leaves us with 26y minus 130, which is exactly 26 times y minus 5. And as expected, because y minus 5 is a factor, it's gone in exactly, there's no remainder. So now we know that our cubic is equal to y minus 5 times by y squared plus 5y plus 26. We know that y equals 5 is a solution, so let's look at the right-hand bracket. Set that equal to 0 to find a solution here. By completing the square, we get y plus 5 over 2 all squared minus 5 over 2 squared, which is 25 over 4, plus 26 is equal to 0, which is y plus 5 over 2 all squared plus 79 over 4 equal to 0. But as this is a square number, add a positive number. Well, there are no real roots for this because it can't equal 0. Hence, y equals 5 is the only real solution of our cubic. Now, earlier we said that y is equal to 2 to the x, so let's put that back now. So 2 to the x is equal to 5. By the general definition of a logarithm, our base is 2. It's being raised to a power of x and getting 5 as an answer. So x must be equal to log base 2, 5, which if you want to know this as a number, to 4 decimal places is 2.3219. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Doing Maths channel or check out some more of my videos by clicking on the links here.